Yo, 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 yo. What is up? What is up, guys? I hope everyone's doing having a fantastic day. You know those days where you just procrastinate and you don't want to do shit? Today has been one of those days where I haven't wanted to do a damn thing, and it was so hard to do one thing today. That's how lazy I've been today. I even took a nap in the afternoon. It was just one of those days. You know, I was keeping an eye on who was getting cut, who was getting waived, what's going on, what's the rumors, how's everything going. There was a lot going on, okay? So I kind of wanted to do a stream tonight because I really want to sit here and kind of go over what has went on so far to see if you guys agree with everything that's been going on with the Eagles roster. Obviously, tomorrow at 4 o'clock p.m., we will have the final 53, and then obviously on Wednesday, we will have the 15, 16 practice squad players for the practice squad already set up and ready to go. But before I talk about anything today, and thank everybody for jumping in here today, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek, and this is a word from our sponsors at SeatGeek. Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek, the #1 rated ticket app with over 70,000 events, over 28 million downloads. And if you're an Eagles fan as well as I am, we're either going to away games to take over the stadiums, or we're going to stick at home and make sure we're rooting for our favorite team in history. But not just sports. It could be any type of festival, any type of concert. You can get tickets for almost anything, fast and easy. All you have to do is go to the SeatGeek website, type in the event you want to go to, and pick your tickets. These tickets are scaled from 1 to 10. Green meaning excellent deal, orange meaning good deal, and red meaning bad deal. This way you know you're getting the best value for the tickets you are purchasing out of your pockets, and that's what all that matters. So I came through for you guys, my Eagles fans, my supporters, to let you know that there's a promo code Joey Shakes for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. I repeat, use promo code Joey Shakes to get $20 off your tickets at SeatGeek. Thank you for SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the content. Okay, so everything that has really gone on today, we'll kind of go over here. To go down the list, I'm gonna try. I'm probably gonna miss one. Maybe I'll miss one. Maybe I'll miss two. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The Eagles did waive linebacker Brandon Smith. You know, I think he'll be back just because he's a great special teamer for this team. I think Brandon Smith will make it on special teams. Zach McPherson is waived. Unfortunately, I haven't liked Job. I haven't liked McPherson. McPherson was really the runner-up as the backup nickel last year when Avonte Maddox was hurt, but he tore his ACL and hasn't really been the same since. This opens up for Quinyon Mitchell to have his number 27 because Zach McPherson is gone now. And number 13 is available for Jahan Dotson as well, as if anybody even knew that. So Eagles have released quarterback Will Greer, DB Parry Enkerson, outside linebacker Julian Aquara, which I thought he had a good game on Saturday. Max Sharping, probably the worst offensive lineman we have. He gave up those 2 sacks, I think, in that Patriots game. Like, he was god-awful. Eagles are waiving Jason Poe, which they literally just picked up last week as just a regular player, whatever. So it looks like Nolan Smith reported discomfort in his ankle hamstring after completing Saturday's game, and there are rumors that Nolan Smith is going to be on the IR. Okay, so if you're keeping 6 receivers, if it's Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Jahan Dotson, Britton Covey, Johnny Wilson. So if Nolan Smith is on IR, you stash him on IR for, 8 weeks, whatever it's going to be. And then I'm guessing Paris Campbell might be back. I don't know if it's going to be John Ross over Paris Campbell. John Ross has had a better camp, I think, because he's just been more available than Paris Campbell has. So I want to know your opinion on that whole situation. So Nolan Smith stashed. I had Nolan Smith making the final 53 just because I don't think they're giving up on him. I don't know if he would last on practice squad, staying there or not and being taken away. Just because like Paris Campbell just had an injury for so long and missed so much time. But Anaya Smith hasn't really. The Anaya Smith's only highlights have been the last couple days of training camp, and then really this last game he actually did okay. Other than that, he hasn't done anything. So I don't know if there's been a lingering type of injury going on with him. I'm not really sure. Hopefully things change in the future because I really think Anaya Smith can be a really good player going forward. But we'll see how that whole thing goes. So safety Andre Sam, was waived. I actually really like that kid a lot. I think they should keep him. I think he's good I think he'll be good on special teams. I think Andre Sam is a rangy. He's very rangy. He's not the biggest safety out there either, or really at the size of what he should be. But man, that guy plays big for his size, plays physical, ready to knock someone's head off. Like, I just like those rangy, ultra aggressive safeties like him. So I thought that was pretty good. Eagles waived Teron Jackson, defensive end Teron Jackson. Yeah, I thought he had an okay camp for at least a couple weeks. I thought he did pretty good, but obviously not going to be enough for what we already have on this team already. So maybe he makes practice squad. We'll see. Wide receiver Griffin Herbert. It spells Hebert, but it's like Herbert or whatever his name is. The Eagles waived him. Eagles waived Austin Watkins, the big Brown standout from last year. It did a number on us in the preseason last year when he was with the Browns. And I think that's really it. I think that's it as of right now. We obviously saw the last preseason game. I don't know what's been going on with this fucking fan base, but people need to relax because I swear to God, dude, like, people have been twisting my words around since that game. And I'm telling you right now, like, I say anything bad about Nolan Smith, and I haven't given up on Nolan Smith. Everyone says he did horrible. You know what I mean? I hope he does not look like a bust because he is a first-round pick. But people are thinking I'm giving up on him this year or something like that. Okay, what I've seen from analysis from my own two eyes of Nolan Smith and what he's done, it is what it is. And then I have people, but the same people will say that Cooper DeJean didn't have a good game against the fucking Vikings. Like, what is that, dude? Seriously, what is that shit? Because let's throw your ass out there after not playing since November and see how you fucking look out there. Like, I love these, like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not a really big X's and O's guy, like, analysis type guy on YouTube that talks about all the, because I don't care about that shit. A billion other people cover that shit. I don't care about that shit. Because, like, I go straight to the point on just talking about the team and what I think is going to happen with the roster, and do I think this defense is going to pan out this year? There's a lot of questions, But I want to thank everybody for joining the chat. I didn't say hi to all of you. I'm sorry, I get a little bit on a rampage. I'm here to talk about, obviously, the roster, who got cut. If you didn't miss it just now, I just talked about who got cut, who got released, who got waived, what's been going on. So rewind the video if you guys haven't. We'll go over at the end what happened here. We got Danny Gonzalez. We got Pumptown Willie. What's going on? The team's biggest weakness right now is definitely tight end, safety depth, and I think edge. I think it's been the exact same for a while, but I think tight end is the worst right now because you really don't have anybody to stay healthy. EJ Jenkins, nothing has happened yet, so I feel really good that he will be the number 3 tight end as of right now. So like I said, if anybody missed it, Anaya Smith might get put on IR. Tyler Steen might get put on IR. Okay, might get put there. Tyler Steen's been dealing with that ankle, still hurt. It's already been hurt twice this offseason program already. It's very annoying with Tyler Steen because I'm telling you, like, Trevor Keegan is going to take that job in the near future. Once Lane Johnson retires, Mekhi Becton hopefully signs after this year, moves to right tackle, And unfortunately, Tyler Steen's not going to even be available to even compete at this point. So really, when I'm looking at it, yeah, I think, I think Trevor Keegan will have a big future here regardless. So we'll see what happens with that. Appreciate you coming in, Pumptown, Willie. We got Speedy Eagle, Jason, Hopewell, Crowley, 26, Glizzy, Donnie, Bubba, JJ, Alex, Chris, Alex, what's going on, man? I agree. I like Sam. Definitely a practice squad. Oh, yeah. Andre Sam, this is a guy that had his last year, he was in he played for LSU his last year of college. He played for 2 small schools, I think 15 picks in 2 years. And then he had to take a lot of time off college because his mother was really sick. There was a big thing with him, and his mom was sick, and, it's family over football. There's no doubt about that. So I'll give him respect for that. So he hasn't really played a lot of football under his belt. For 2 years, those were his best years at the small school. So Bubba says Tristan McComm should make this team. I have heard no news on Tristan McComm yet. So if you don't hear names, that's a good thing. Tristan McComm not getting a phone call is a good thing. I like Tristan McComm. Okay, I think this is someone the Eagles really need to produce. You have Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for a few years. He's already been hurt once this year. And Reed Blankenship, people are on and off about him. You have James Bradbury that has not been talked about at all. This whole entire, I'm actually really shocked that, I'm sorry, but I don't know what Vic Fangio is seeing with James Bradbury right now. He says high IQ, great transition from corner to safety, and for me, we see him with tackles. We see him he can't make open tackles. He can't cover tight ends. I mean, he's not going to cover wide receiver threes and tight ends. What are you, out of your mind? I don't think you can't even play him on the inside. What makes you think with all that open space, he's going to do even better? It's not like he has that athleticism that we think he's going to have. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure, man. Bradbury is just one of those big things where the coaching staff has said too many nice things about him to a point where, it's like he's like the teacher's pet right now. He's like the teacher's pet of Vic Fangio. He tells us positive things, but what's really happening is real negative. But they may be faking this whole entire thing, building his value. That could be what it is. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's fucking nuts, dude. It's nuts. Jay said, never heard of CeeDee Lamb. Oh, yeah, he got paid today. Good for him. He deserved it. Grady said, not going to lie, Trevor Keegan probably has been the most impressive rookie in preseason besides Trotter. Yeah, he's been really good. Keegan hasn't given up a sack. I don't think he's given up too much of a pressure yet. He's been doing pretty good. Season's right around the corner, guys. Right around the corners. Lord says, this really is the worst fan base. We eat ourselves from the inside. I can't, dude. It's me being a YouTuber. It's I got to take this shit every day, which I do. But it's dude, I have people coming out saying that Cooper DeJean had a bad fucking game. It's probably from people that never played sports in their fucking life. No joke. Okay. But I say one bad thing about Nolan Smith. It's what has he fucking done this offseason? I'm just saying, dude, other than those 2 sacks, who cares? Who gives a shit? To me, it's just, he's the one that said for the 3rd game, Nolan Smith says, oh, I decided to play myself. I want to just get ready for the season. He's telling the media that he played on Saturday. Not that he needed to, but he played because he just wants to get ready. Let me tell you something. If the coaches think you're ready, they would never play you. They don't care if you want to hit the field. They do not care about it. They don't want to risk your injury. Okay? Was I a little surprised that Nakobe Dean actually wasn't dressed for that Saturday game? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe I was a little surprised he didn't, dress for it. Sure. Jay's Hobo said, I saw your video, man. I agreed with your take on Nolan Smith. I'm looking for him to take a bit of a leap. Look, if he takes a little bit of a leap, but the only the only thing that Eagles fans are holding their cap on with Nolan Smith is because of Brandon Graham's career. Like, if Brandon Graham never existed, I think people would be done with Nolan Smith right now. Oh, he might be a late bloomer. Look, oh, BG did it. BG did it. And I'm just like, dude, like, stop with that. It's stupid. Just because the Eagles waited on Brandon Graham all these years, it doesn't mean they're going to wait for him. They're not going to wait for. They're going to wait for Nolan Smith at this point. I'm sorry, but and look, I don't think they should cut him. I don't think they should cut Nolan Smith. I don't think they should give up on Nolan Smith. Like, Nolan Smith last year, unfortunately, not his fault. The shoulder injury was his fault. But really, Sean Desai, he didn't have a good coaching staff behind him. He didn't really have a guy teaching him technique, or that's why he trained with Kwity Paye this offseason to work on technique, and he just doesn't have any tools in the toolbox. Why line him up in a wide 9? I mean, really, in an aggressive scheme, he'd be perfect for a wide 9. Line him up wide, line him up a lot further in distance towards the left tackle, and let him work a crease. Let him body himself into a crease, and I think those skills will start to flourish. Him bull rushing these fucking tackles, like, it's not doing anything. Those 2 sacks are bullshit. Oh, he had a sack during Miami last year, unblocked. I don't even want to see him get an unblocked sack anymore because it's bullshit. Every time I see it, I'm just like, bullshit doesn't mean anything. When I saw that. And then when he finally gets to the quarterback, he headbutts the guy, gets a penalty. Like, what? How the fuck are you headbutting how are you headbutting a quarterback with the ball's already thrown? I don't know. Like, Nolan Smith talks a good game. I like what he says. I like his attitude. I think his work ethic is realistic. I don't think he fakes it. I don't think he fakes what he's going to do. But his play has got to match that attitude that he has. I hope it starts to come out this year. I hope it really does. I don't care about the sacks, guys. I just want him to be fucking disruptive. If he can't even make the quarterback move out of pocket, stay in the pocket, make the running back move a different direction, I don't even know. Like, if he could do something like that, I'm perfectly fine with it. But this shit right now with Nolan Smith, I don't know. Like, I don't know why people, like, I get it, dude. Like, but this is a year-to-year thing. Whether the Eagles helped him last year or didn't, I have to evaluate him for what he's done. And he's done nothing. I'm going to eat off the floor. And I get it, dude. He's insane. Like, I love that attitude that Nolan Smith has. I don't think he's faking. I think he's a great dude off the field. And I think he's got a fucking crazy, like, something's, you have a screw loose up here. I think he's got that. But the play just doesn't match it. You know what I mean? That's all I really have to say about the situation. I'm sorry I've been ranting about this shit, but it's fucking true, though. It's true, though. Leon says, can we take a moment to roast the Cowboys overpaid for a slot wide receiver? Yeah, so, I mean, what was it, 34 a year? What was it? I mean, $100 million guaranteed, whatever it was. It's a good deal for him. The problem I have with the Cowboys re-signing him is that why does every time the Cowboys sign somebody, it has to be like the biggest fucking deal? Every time they try to sign somebody, it's always got it. Like, they never try to work the cap. They always want to high price every fucking player they try to re-sign. Like, every player. Like, I don't get it. Literally, the Eagles are paying an extra $15 million for Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown over one dude on the Cowboys and CeeDee Lamb right now. That's how crazy it is. Yeepa, what's going on, bro? 200s. What's going on? Oh, 200s. Oh, 200? That's awesome. I got to say it like that from now on. Money making up friends. I hope they bring in Yannick, and Dalvin Cook is visiting Dallas tonight. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. I think Yannick needs to be a Philadelphia Eagle, bro. I don't know how this pass rush is going to be. I think they're putting a lot into how many sacks? Vic Fangio had 50-something sacks with Miami last year. Top 10 in quarterback hits. Third in pressures. Okay, third in pressures. Does legitimately, I think the only thing that I think this defense is better than Miami last year. The only difference that I'm having, the only issue I'm having that's a difference from last year to this year with Vic Fangio with Miami last year, I think that I don't know if the pass rush is going to be there. The middle, I'm not worried about. It starts out with Jordan Davis, and it starts out with Jalen Carter. Like, those two players, very important. Okay. For me, at least, I feel like if you're going into this situation, you got to have guys that go on the edge right now. I mean, Jalen Hunt is dealing with an oblique injury right now at this point. Oblique injury. Nolan Smith up in the air. Don't know what he's going to do. Brandon Graham last year on his deal. How much does he have in the tank this year to really be disruptive? I have no idea. Okay. Bryce Huff, you're expecting big things from him. But when you're playing in this off-ball system, you're hoping to get some penetration. I don't know how much of that we're going to see. That's why the season's very exciting, because the defense is like a fucking question mark right now. It's a total question mark right now. So we think Patrick Johnson kept the spot with the strip sack? Well, Patrick Johnson's been disruptive this year. That's not the only play he's made. Like I said, the sacks I don't really give a shit about. He had that strip sack, obviously, that won us the game, from the field goal from Jake Elliott. But I think he could play outside linebacker. I think Patrick Johnson could play edge rusher. I think he can actually rush the passer I think he can get after quarterbacks really well. I think he's got a lot of value, to be honest with you. So he might have a spot, whether it's maybe on the edge or, you never know what could happen there. So I'm not sure what they're going to do, but Nabex says Tristan McCollum had the kind of camp that reminds me of Blankenship a couple of years ago. Dude just knows how to hit. Got to keep him around. Kind of like getting his feet wet. He's not noticeable, maybe a little tiny bit, but Tristan McCollum's had a good camp. I mean, as a contact safety, I'm not really sure about the coverage aspect of him, but I think he's just a baby right now. They got to keep him around, and they got to see what he could do. That's what they got to do with him as of right now. Jay says, if Bradbury makes this team, I'm going to lose it. He's horrible, man. He's even worse safety than corner. That's what I feel like we're looking at, and Fangio is faking this hype up with James Bradbury right now. There's a lot of fake shit going on to make it look like he's doing well. Like, I don't know, Vic Fangio tells us, oh, great, James Bradbury has a great IQ, great transition from corner to safety. And we watch him during joint practices against the Patriots, couldn't cover a tight end. We watched the Patriots game, with the tackle, can't make open field tackles, can't cover wide receiver threes, can't cover tight ends. And then Vic Fangio still says he's like doing really well. And Vic Fangio doesn't lie. I mean, most of the time he doesn't lie. But I think safety depth is just really bad right now, because I think Avonte Maddox is going to play safety and nickel, because nickel, I think, the depth isn't crazy good there. But Avonte Maddox, I think that's where he's going to start behind Quignon, and I think will be a backup safety. He'll probably work two positions most likely. But Bradbury, Stern is going to be on medical. He's more of a next year type move. He was drafted by Vic Fangio. That Stern kid is actually a really good player. I actually like him a lot. I remember a lot of plays he made a while back, but Stern is ball hawk, in your face. I think Stern is gonna make some noise next year. Hopefully, we'll see. Because Reed Blankenship, I think he's been hyped up. I think he's a good player, but I think he's been hyped up to be the best the Eagles have ever seen in their career. But I still think he's a solid player. Even as a 3, he's a solid player. And he can come in for a couple games. He could start a whole season. I have no issue with it. Sometimes his coverage is lackluster at times, but that's where I'm at with the whole situation. But that's where we're at. We got 308 people in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. We do videos. We do live streams. We'll be live streaming every game this season. Check the link in the description. Check for memberships. Check the merch for the Philly Shakedown podcast. All that great stuff. Definitely check it out. And use promo code JoeyShakes to get $20 off your first order at SeatGeek. Okay, order those Eagles tickets right now and get $20 off on me. So click the link in the description for that. What is the biggest weakness to you guys? What do you, and really tell me, give me a player, give me a position and why it's bad, or give me a player you want off this team and why they should stay. You name it. Vincent Salmatino says, Nolan, Huff and Hunt got a talent to terrorize offenses so long if they are used right. Yeah, I mean, that's it. Like, Nolan Smith has just, he was a rookie last year. I can't put too much on him, but I'm just going to say he didn't do good. Okay, with no good direction of, like, technique or how to use Nolan Smith, and barely using him last year was the biggest problem. Jalix Hunt's dealing with the oblique injury right now. I think as a perimeter player, Jalix Hunt at 6'3", 6'4", 252 pounds, he's fucking dangerous. Okay? He could cover tight ends. He can cover running backs. He could cover almost anything. He could drop back out of that defensive end position in coverage, and man, his maneuvering of his athleticism with his legs and where he could go on the field and how much he can really cover himself, and high IQ type player, I like him a lot. I really do. I just feel like we don't have enough going after the quarterback. I feel like you have the perimeter guys. I just don't feel like you have enough to actually get pressure on quarterbacks. That's just me right now. The Wise Travis says, Nolan was the first round pick, and people saying he's just he just has to be a role player. No, no. He says laughing my ass off, and he can't even do that. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, at least, like, if you see, like, Cooper DeJean goes into that game Saturday. He was noticeable. Nolan Smith goes into a game and he's not noticeable. It's just, look, I don't know. Like, he's not even flashing just a little bit. 2 sacks where one, it was unblockable, and the second one, he was literally he was chipped by the running back, literally pushed into the lane. And people think I'm shitting on him for no reason. And if I shit on a player, it means I really want them to do well in the NFL. If I talk about somebody and shit on them, it means that I really do want them to succeed. Like, people think I just shit on them to shit on them, but that's not where it's at, because I like Nolan Smith. I think there's something there. I just don't think he's unleashed it. He gained 10 to 12 pounds of muscle this offseason. To me, it's just been lackluster at this point. I don't know where it's going. Some of these guys are like going out of their mind. Like, I talk about Nolan, like, don't you talk about him, he last year, I get the whole thing with last year. I get it, dude, but I have to talk about what I have to give him a pass every time. Like, he's not even flashing right now. There's no flash. There's nothing there right now. He's done nothing besides 2 fucking horrible sacks. Horrible, just sacks that I could say, holy shit, oh my God, look at what he did. Who cares? How many sacks have I seen from players this preseason because offensive linemen are literally just blowing their, position, assignment. They just completely missed their fucking assignment. It happens all the time. It happened in this final game that we had. Speed said the reason why we are hard on Nolan Smith is because the Eagles picked him the first. Yeah, exactly. People are like, "Oh, don't talk about Hassan Reddick. Don't talk about all of that." But it is true. First round pick, and you got rid of your best pass rusher. And the whole thing with Hassan Reddick, I'm not going to get into it, but I'll say this, okay? Hassan Reddick is not going to give you consistent games of productivity because he's not going to. Jet fans think they're getting a guy that's going to be productive every game because he's not. He's a streaky player. 1 month he'll have no sacks. Another month he'll have 7 sacks. But what we're losing, I think the one thing with Hassan Reddick that I think we desperately lose, I think we desperately lose a closer. 4th quarter, 4th down, a minute and a half left, 4th and 3, and Reddick is making plays in those moments. That's what I think we lose with Hassan Reddick. More than just his stats and his sacks, it's really being that closer. And I don't think the Eagles have that. They didn't find that. They literally, theoretically, they traded Hassan Reddick to the fucking Jets and got Bryce Huff back and paid him. Vic Fangio has taken massive gambles to this roster. Vic Fangio is treading water, bro, because he has done some things where Eagle fans wouldn't agree with it. Like if Vic Fangio was going to take a cornerback in Quinyon Mitchell and put him on the inside most of the time as a nickel, that made us nervous because he's putting him out of position. Okay, but he's playing fantastic at both inside, outside, potentially a number one guy that can play both, which is good. And Bryce Huff is playing out of position, really new position, because he never dropped back. He never dropped back in coverage. With the Jets, if Fangio could do this to some of these players and know that the talent's there, it's a big gamble because you could be wasting the entire year having them learn different things. But I think what Fangio has done really well of so far is really expanding the skill set and toolbox of players that never thought that they had in their self. I think that's been really the big thing with Quinyon, especially Bryce Huff, both of those guys. Obviously, the veteran leadership on top of it, guys helping. Darius Slay helping the cornerback group. Brandon Graham helping, obviously, the defensive line and helping guys with what they're doing. I think that's been a huge help this offseason. So Vic has really taken some chances. I mean, he's really done some things. So that's where we're at right now. Okay, hold on one second. Make sure we're okay here. George Lewis says Reddick and Sweat quit last year when they had to play the run in losing games and couldn't pad their stats for a new contract with sacks. Well, I don't think anybody gave. I think the whole defense gave up. The one thing you probably shouldn't do is blame it on two guys. I think the only guy you really shouldn't blame is Fletcher Cox. Other than that, I think that whole defense just mentally fell apart. You can't just say that two of those guys fell apart. I think they all fell apart. If one piece isn't working, another piece isn't. I mean, there was no sense of urgency. It was a total disaster as of right now. Whoever's saying to trade Nolan right now is an idiot. Like, we could talk our shit about him, but he doesn't deserve to be off this team right now. Okay, this is his second year, which, his rookie year, we probably have to say, probably didn't count. It counts for something, but just like Jalen Hurts' rookie year just like Jalen Hurts' rookie year, he was thrown into the fire late in the season, and progressively he played worse. He had a couple good games, but progressively just played worse his rookie year. But I don't really count that year because he never had an offseason as a starter, didn't have an offseason with the starting guys, so it is what it is. You know what I mean? Drew said, discrediting his sacks isn't fair. He blew up a dude on a nice move on the unblocked sack, but yeah, he's been underwhelming regardless. Even if that's the case, it's not enough. But, even, I don't even care about the fucking sacks. It's not even like sacks are sacks, obviously, for games, yeah, they make differences, no doubt. When it comes to practice, when it comes to trying to make the team or fighting for a roster spot or just seeing how a first-round pick is doing going to their second year, I want to see Nolan Smith blow somebody up and almost get his hands on the QB. I want to see him literally fight somebody. You know what I mean? He's literally making the offensive linemen fucking pray for their life as they're trying to hold a pass block against him. See something like that. I'm not even seeing that. Either Nolan Smith gets his easy moments or he doesn't go anywhere, and don't see anything close to that in production. And that's really where I'm at. I'm not a fucking coach. I don't obsess over Nolan Smith, okay, every day. But edge, yeah, this is the first year where the Eagles defensive line isn't deep in rotation, and I think it's very lackluster on the edge because I say to myself, how the fuck are we even going to get pressure this year? 3 positions that are weak right now. Edge, safety depth as of now. We don't know where Cooper DeJean's going to end up. Cooper DeJean to me looks like a safety right now. A moving piece, open open field tackler, just a true captain. Okay. That's where I feel like he's going to be. That's where I'm hoping he's going to be. Because really, at the end of the day, they could put him at nickel next year, but I mean, they can't redshirt him this year. The guy's got to play. He missed a lot for a guy that missed a lot of time. Okay, he came back and the guy hasn't played since last November. The guy hasn't really hit since last November. Look what he did. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about Nolan Smith for 10 hours on here. I really don't. I mean, people are going to talk about things, but it is what it is. So, I mean, I don't care what we talk about. We talk about Nolan Smith the whole time, but do we really want to? Probably not. Like, what's, you know what I mean? He's going to make the team anyway. The Wise Tribe says Reddick got pressures and QB hits even when he didn't get sacks and was decent against the run, terrible in coverage. Yeah, I agree with that. So at least for a guy that's, like if you're not getting sacks, you obviously have to be somewhat like you're going to have to, I always saw Reddick would always get pressures and, be good like that. So Karen says, I'm not sold on him, but there's literally no point in trading Nolan unless you can get a package with a prominent pass rusher, and that ain't going to happen. No, because you're not getting anything back. Richie says Cameron Jurgens is another concern. He is he ready to take the role of Hall of Fame Jason Kelce playing right guard? Jurgens was able to hide and get help from Kelce. Well, you're not really. If you're starting on the offensive line, you ain't fucking hiding. I mean, sure, he can help you. If there's no nose on Kelce, he can help either side. I think Jurgens is going to be fine. I think people need to stop saying, can he be the next Kelce? I think that just annoys the fuck out of me because, dude, we don't have an upgrade over Kelce. Let's be realistic here. Jurgens is not that upgrade. Could he be in a few years? Sure. But is he a good player? I think Jurgens is going to be a great player. But I don't think he's better than what we had in, there's no upgrade. You're not going to upgrade an all-pro like that. A Hall of Famer, you're not upgrading that. Okay? So that's my whole understanding of Jurgens wasn't hiding last year. Yeah, I mean, him playing was huge last year. If he redshirted last year, that would have really sucked going into this season. But I feel good about it, though. I feel really good about it going forward. The Wise says blew by a dude on a nice move when he was unblocked on a missed assignment is a hilarious take. I don't know that so that's the first sack he had this season. I didn't see any move unless he blew by him and I don't know. To me, I didn't see a big, gigantic pressure. It's not like I saw him throw somebody around, and get by him, and the guy was like, yo, what's going on? I didn't see that. I think people are blowing that first sack out of proportion. I don't know. For me, I didn't see that. Ron says, you don't need to give Nolan a full seed. This is getting ridiculous. Not talking to you, Joe. No, you're good. You're good. I get it. I want to give Nolan Smith more time. I've never made a video saying trade him, cut him, release him. I've never done that. But I have to, I can't just not say anything about Nolan Smith just because, I have to stay quiet for some people out there. Fuck that. I don't stay quiet for nobody. That's number one. Fuck that shit. No, there's no way. Not happening. Don't care. Nate says, oh my God, the comments I'm seeing about Nolan Smith are ridiculous on here. He is 23, guys. Let's see. Dude, he's coming off a rookie year into his second year. Let's see what he does. But all I say is this. Go get another pass rusher because I don't think it's enough. I think you have good perimeter guys. I think Bryce Huff is good. I think Bryce Huff realistically, I think Bryce Huff can actually get 8 to 10 sacks, maybe even more. I mean, Bryce Huff legit, that guy could pass. That guy's dangerous. That guy is going to fucking eat. If he is let loose on the edge, and obviously he will drop, but when he's not dropping, the man is going to make you pay. That guy could pass rush, no doubt. You know what I mean? He definitely can. The watch out. No one is fast. That's it. Not fast enough in the NFL for it to work. I think as a cut, look, before the season before the offseason program started, like mini camp OTAs, before that shit even started, I made videos about maybe Nolan Smith should be an outside linebacker. And they never did it. So when Vic Fangio says he's not physical enough to play edge, then why the fuck is he sitting at edge? You know what I mean? Put him as an outside linebacker. I think he would be a great outside linebacker. He's done a lot of that type of stuff in college in open space and dropping in coverage because I think he could do that. That athleticism, I don't think he should waste. But, you know, fine. The people over Robert, you know, seeing people that kept saying 10-1 even though we played like garbage. Yeah, we played like garbage the whole year. Realistically, like we wanted to see if like they could play better. They didn't play like they were 10-1. They played like they were 1-10. The what's it called? The talent got us far last season. We know that. George says the pressure comes when the offense scores nonstop, forcing the enemy to throw every down. You're gonna have a long fucking day, dude. Like these corners are playing off ball. You know, I like about Fangio's defense. As much as I hate this defense, I've hated this defense the last few years. Okay, you actually have blitz packages, and you're gonna have to blitz a shit ton. You're gonna have to blitz a lot. You're gonna have to use that blitz so much because I'm sorry, but to me, like the middle, I feel like they can get like if we see way too many quarterbacks escaping the pocket and getting yards on us, it's because our edge rushers can't contain and they can't play. And Bryce Huff is not going to be the only one that's going to be able to do it. It's got to be balanced on both sides. Neil says he has 0 pass rush moves. I believe it. I don't think he does. I think when he tries, it's just not there. That's where I'm at with the whole situation. We got over 330 people that shared out. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. This stream is brought to you by or sponsored by SeatGeek. If you want Eagles tickets, download the SeatGeek app. Put my code in, link in the description. Get $20 off your first order at SeatGeek. Appreciate it. Become a member, too, if you guys have it. Got some extra stuff coming on. We got a super chat. First of the night. From Philly Khalil. Sorry. Philly Cali. Sorry, I said Philly Khalil. I can't see my screen sometimes. I need glasses. I don't know what's going on. He said, who's our cornerback 2 and do Ricks make the team? Okay, this is a good question because I think a few people have talked about Eli Ricks tonight. I've been kind of skipping on the question because I want to talk about this later on. So cornerback 2 is going to be Isaiah Rodgers right now. I think Ringo would be ready. If Rodgers wasn't here, I think Ringo would be ready. But God forbid you have injuries. God forbid something happens. Ringo will be ready. It's unfortunate that he's going to sit this year. But I really like Keely Ringo a lot. Isaiah Rodgers has had more starts in training camp opposite of Darius Slay. Eli Ricks, you know, I think he's been pretty quiet, but he showed some things in that last game. I haven't really seen him flash too much in these preseason games, but in camp, little quiet, but has made some plays at times. It hasn't been much with Eli Ricks. If Eli Ricks gets to practice squad, he will be gone. Okay, he will be gone. That's it. There's nothing going on right now. I thought this live was sponsored by Nolan Smith. I mean, it probably should be by the way this is fucking going tonight. Probably. Probably. All right. So here's the thing, okay? Eli Ricks, I think, is a good player. I would love the Eagles to keep him like in the building for a long time. I just feel like, I don't know, he's like one of my favorites that I really just want to keep here because I'm selfish. I don't think he's a special teamer. I think, you know, they should cross train him inside, outside. He should be playing both at times. He's given everything he's got this offseason, so we'll see how it goes. I really want him to get better because I saw some I just think he's in the wrong scheme right now. As a press corner, I think he's a little bit better because he can at least he could play press really good. He can get physical off the line. Like I think you have 3 really good physical corners. Isaiah Rodgers is physical, but we don't play that way. Quinyon Mitchell, physical, but we don't play that way. But still, they can still get physical, but you got to be careful because, the refs are looking out for this shit every single game. So, the Eli Ricks thing, I hope they do keep him. I'm not sure if it's going to really go in that direction, though, because I have what? I have Hurts, Slay, Rodgers, Ringo, Mitchell, DeJean, and Maddox. That's 6. Unless you're not keeping a third tight end, unless you're not keeping a fourth running back, you're not keeping 6 receivers. That's what I have right now. That's what I have right now. That's where I'm at. So, appreciate the super chat, Philly Cali, so much, man. So much. Ryan Taylor says our team is stacked. We don't have to have all pros every position in their backups. Howie's doing a good job. Players are working hard. No, dude, I'm not that Eagles fan that comes out. Look, I'm not that fucking Eagle fan that needs an all pro at every position. There's a lot of people out there if one position isn't up to standard, and there's perfectly fine. If I see no production from a player, it's got to be said, and he's a first round pick. That's where I'm at. It's not just shitting on somebody. It's dude, it's been I know last year was his rookie year under really bad circumstances with his coaching staff, but holy shit, dude, he's got to push himself, and I think he is. I'm not saying that, but I'm not that one of those Philly fans that's he sucks. We need to trade for this one. Oh, we need to, I think they need to add. Look what Jahan Dotson did, bro. How many opposing defenses are going to have 3 fucking legit cornerbacks? Jahan Dotson is going to have matchups against safeties. Linebackers will have no chance against him. I mean, somebody should be open every fucking play. Literally. Whether it's the check down, Dallas Goedert, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, Jalen Hurts extending plays, running with the football in his hands, up the sideline, whatever the case may be. I mean, you could think of Jahan Dotson as literally the 5th, 6th option, the 6th option adding Jalen Hurts into the mix as a weapon, or the 5th option just saying, hey, between your wide receiver, your rest of your receivers, your running back, and your tight end, it's fucking scary, dude. It's very scary. The Wise Tribe says, sorry, you can't handle the truth. I'm responding to people, and if you don't like what I'm saying... Huh? Is he talking? I don't know if people are talking to me or what's going on. I'm not offended by anything anybody's saying. Number one, let's be real. I don't get offended by anything. When you come to this chat, it is free speech. Obviously, no political or racial bullshit, but it is free speech in here. No one should be blocked. No one should be... Everybody, that's why I reset moderators, because people are getting blocked for having their own opinion. At the end of the day, we want this team to win a second championship. That's where we're at right now at this point. That's where we're at, The Watcher, I was skeptical of Hump, but yeah, I'm hyped now because he looks good. I think he looks amazing. I honestly know why they got. Now I know why they liked him. So why Fangio really liked him that much. What's going on, Ryan? Logan said, I'm more confident that our coordinators get the guys they want on the roster than last year. It's not only experience in coaching; it's experience in the whys. They need their guys. Yeah, that's true. I'm not going to disagree with anybody. Every opinion is a valid opinion because I'm not always right. Brian said, I said earlier to make Nolan Smith as an outside linebacker and make him use his speed to run through the gaps and get pressure on the QB that way. That was my idea right before minicamp started. I wanted him to cross train from edge to maybe outside linebacker. What's going on, Matt? Dutton says, it's like trying to force a square peg into a round hole. Obviously, Nolan would be better at outside linebacker. That's really been the whole thing. Yo, the Philly 500 House of Mouse Club. What's going on, dude? So what are your thoughts on Malik Willis getting traded to Green Bay? Does this confirm Kenny Pickett is cheeks? Would they give up a 7th? I mean, it doesn't confirm anything, dude. I think it only confirms that the Eagles like who they have been familiar with in the past. I think the only reason why, I don't think they want to spend $5 million or more dollars on a quarterback, which they don't. Kenny Pickett barely costs a thing. Okay. You gave away, you traded draft capital, or you switched picks, third, fourth picks. You switched, you moved what down 22 spots. I don't know. But Kenny Pickett, McKee and Pickett will make the team. Will Grier is the odd man out. But him as the backup right now, like I don't even trust fucking Kenny Pickett with the starters right now. Guy can't throw over 4 yards. Literally, his pocket awareness is as bad as a toddler trying to. I mean, I don't even know. It's bad. It's beyond horrible. It's just not there for me. I don't know. I think it's just familiarity. It's like, oh, well, the Eagles had interest in 21. The Eagles had a lot of interest in him in the draft in the first round. And, before the Eagles, gave him that second chance 22, I should say. Sorry, 22. And before we didn't know if the Eagles were going to give Jalen because going into the 22 offseason, the Eagles didn't build around Jalen Hurts at all. Like if they talk about Jalen Hurts being the guy. If he wasn't going to be the guy, why haven't they given him a number one receiver yet? Why haven't they traded for anybody? And then the Kenny Pickett rumors started popping up in the offseason. Then we're like, are they giving Jalen another chance? Like you can't. What the Eagles were showing us beginning of that 22 offseason was they didn't want Jalen Hurts, or they weren't trying to build around him and make the offense better to give him weapons to help him. So we figured Kenny Pickett or our quarterback was that, the Eagles were going to go after a quarterback in the first round of that draft. But it didn't happen that way, I'm trying to catch up to this chat, guys. I'm trying to catch up, so I apologize. Carl's just, I think Rodgers Slay at corner, Mitchell slot corner, Blankenship and CJ at safety. Yeah, that's completely correct. Completely correct. Vince said, I was big of a fan of Hurts in the draft because of physical tools alongside great word or mouth from coaches on work ethic, etc. Yeah, I mean, you just want his work ethic to really match his play, and it definitely it has over time, so. The Wise Trap said, Nolan's the linebacker would save this man's career. Being a free blitzer and his speed against the run would immediately improve his value. I think it would, too. If Fangio knows this is a bad situation, there's a few questions. James Bradbury's a question right now because he's hyped up for no reason. Zach Baun is another guy at linebacker, which I'm like, we haven't seen too much from the naked eye from Zach Baun because he hasn't played much. It's hard from one joint practice, guys, and no reps in preseason. I mean, sorry, he's had reps in preseason, but he's only been in for a fucking series, barely even that. Okay. That's where I'm kind of with the whole Zach Baun thing. Is he another Fangio favorite that's going to fail and Trotter Jr. is going to step up? Nakobe Dean, I thought should have played on Saturday, but Nakobe Dean is Nakobe Dean has been ascending. I mean, it's looked really good. Nakobe Dean has looked really since that when we were cooking him in that open practice against Kenny G. When he got his ankles broken, not once, but twice had his ankles broken. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy, dude. It's crazy. Match, especially defense and O-line, especially backup-wise. Yeah, that's true. Sean says, Fangio will be blitzing a lot this year. Our interior might be the only players to get pressure. Yeah, I mean, that's how I'm looking at it. I feel like the DTs are fine. I got no problem at DT. I have no problem with even some of this Mustafa and Tupelutu and Ojomo. Milton Williams is going to have a big year this year. I got to put out this video on Twitter that no one else really put out because someone recorded and put it on Twitter, but it didn't really get much traction. The joint practice, we actually got to see Milton Williams against the Patriots offensive line, one-on-one offensive line, defensive line reps. Holy shit, dude. Milton is he's got a screw loose, bro. It's insane, dude. It's insane. What's going on, Fitness Roofer? No, man, we're just talking about just who we think is going to get cut, players of need. I heard, and then we saw that Greg Ward got released from the Colts. He didn't make it. That guy's been cut so many times, man. That guy has gotten a lot of disrespect over the years. I feel like the Eagles never gave him a shot, really. 2019, he was our best receiver. It's unfortunate, but it's true. When Wentz had to carry the team on his back that year, we had no receiver over 500 fucking yards. I mean, it's just crazy, bro. It's fucking nuts, dude. I'm trying to get through this chat, guys. I'm trying. It's too much right now. Yeah, and Boston Scott got released by the Rams too. So Nigo's definitely sure, Crow Killer sure. What's going on? Says Joey, everyone's got an opinion. That's how we learn from each other. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate everyone here. Hey, like if we all agreed on the same shit every day, it would be boring. So I mean, that's just the truth. Matt says Nick is just a cheerleader and motivator, nothing more, nothing less. And that's perfectly fine. I don't need him as anything else. Just stay away. Everything he touches turns to shit, unfortunately. And it does, unfortunately. 80% of defense is a question. Yeah, well, because it's a lot of new pieces, a lot of new faces, the defensive core, like Vic Fangio, like I like the blitz packages. I like that he believes in the blitz, even with an off-ball coverage scheme, disguising coverage type scheme, multiple front scheme. I don't mind it. You know, it's not the bother. It's because he has so many new faces that he has to work with. But this is why you have the offseason program. And if you're a player that misses this program, you're going to get hurt by it later on. The Wild Tribe says, yeah, Ross playing with Hurts would make Ross look 200 times better. Yeah, and that's a whole nother thing, too. Like, that third preseason game is a fucking disaster because you don't even have your first two lines. The protection's going to be bad. McKee's going to look bad, and he still looked better than Pickett. But receivers aren't going to get a lot of opportunities, and when they do, they have to make what's of it. You know, kick return, punt returners, guys are trying to make the roster through special teams, you know, shit like that, dude. Like, you know, I think a lot of players that should, you know, but they didn't want to start the starters. They want to keep their guys fresh for the season. So I get it, but one joint practice, guys, like the only thing that makes me question, because Nick Sirianni has his hands on one thing. It's how we do this offseason program. And this one practice, you had 2 days of joint practices with the Patriots. 1 day you had in full pads. One, not two. The second day you had walkthroughs. You had a fucking walkthrough in a joint practice. What a waste of time. That's a fucking waste of time. Huge waste of time, in my opinion. Like, you have another team in front of you for 2 days. Hit for 2 days. Rest whoever's banged up. If they get banged up the first day, you rest them automatically. And just, you know, see what you have. Hopefully it stays like that. I don't see. The Wild Tribe said, plus Ross was making contested catches and holding onto the ball and getting rocks, still lightning fast. I think he's won the kick return. I don't know. I mean, to me, I feel like he should be a kick returner for this team this year. That's just me. Honestly, special teams has been lackluster this offseason. We know Covey is probably going to be the punt returner. I haven't seen anybody else that's better. Okay, I haven't seen anybody else that's really better at this point. Kick return-wise, I think John Ross should make it. Maybe just because of his attributes for kick return. So we'll see. The John Ross story is a great thing and revive his career in Philadelphia. He might have a chance. We'll see. I mean, really, when you look at it, okay, when you look at the wide receivers, so I have obviously A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, Britton Covey. Johnny Wilson's going to be here. Johnny Wilson, I don't know if they're going to put him on fake IR or put him on fake pup or something, because he still has this concussion for like 2 weeks already, which I don't believe. Anais Smith is probably going to be put on IR now. So that's 5 receivers. Who's your number 6 guy and who are going to be your practice squad? Joseph Nagata will probably be your practice squad. And John Ross might be moved up for special teams every week. I don't know. Could be. You know, we'll see. Matt Week says Will Shipley could turn out to be a hidden gem. Not gonna lie, I love the running back position, guys. Like, especially that Davis Price kid. I think he's great. I think he hurt himself. He was running the ball like he's been the most other than Shipley, Gainwell, and Saquon. He's been the most consistent back out of Lou Nichols, and obviously Kendall Milton. I like Kendall Milton as a north-south runner. Price, I don't think is a receiving back. I think Price is I think they have two really good north-south runners. I really do. But Davis Price, though, he's got that Le'Veon Bell patience at the line, finds that hole and really gets it to another gap of speed. And the guy takes, upon physicality, Price could, get you an extra few yards as well as Kendall Milton. But I got to say, Price has looked very good. Will Shipley is going to be a force to be reckoned with in the passing game. I think that's where he's really going to flourish. He hasn't fumbled. He hasn't dropped the ball this year, which is good because he had issues with that in Clemson. Will Shipley did. So I think a lot of good things to take from it. We got Brian Pumper with the super chat. Thank you so much, my boy. He says, Joey, it's about time these rookies got out of Jersey. Hashtag purgatory. Quignon number 27. DeJean, not sure yet, but 33 is trash. Why? Bro, how? And you're right. Seriously. How? I respect it. I respect every opinion, but the one thing I'm just like, why are people are going to defend Nolan Smith till the fucking cows come home, but why is DeJean being called trash? Come on now. The guy hasn't played since fucking November, and he had a couple, he was slow in the beginning of the game, and I thought progressively I thought he did really well. I thought he did really well. What do you expect from after being out that long? Like, what did you expect DeJean to do? Fucking just annihilate and just be like this big I don't get what everybody expected. Nolan Smith hasn't even shown close to that. Not even a 1% of that in preseason. I don't know if this is a troll job or this is like legit, like someone saying that you're saying he's trash. Are you saying his number's trash or he's trash? Oh, bro, the way it's said. All right, not sure, but all right, but usually, like when people don't want to type his name, when people don't want to type his name, they'll just say, "Oh yeah, I think 33 is trash." I thought you meant he's trash. But sometimes people don't want to like type in their whole name. Some people say, you know what, say like, okay. All right, I'm about to fucking say, dude, like, what is? All right, then that's good. That's good. All right, then we're on the same page. Then I'm like, how the hell? Why is it DeJean getting it? At least like, why is DeJean? I don't even know, dude. People need to relax, but I need to relax. I read that wrong. I guess I read it wrong, but. I agree with Quignon getting 27 potentially. 13 is available for Jahan Dotson now. I know he's 87, Brent Selleck's number right now, which he's definitely not getting that. Joey's Nolan Smith's agendas. No, I'm not. I have to put Nolan Smith as the prime example. Like if you're gonna say DeJean is trashed and damn, then Nolan Smith has been a lot worse, Appreciate the super chat, by the way. I'm like, what? I think 33 is I think 33 is an awesome number. I don't think it's a bad number at all, to be honest. I think fucking Josh Sweat at 19 is probably one of the worst numbers that he has right now. I think it looks fucking horrible right now. But tomorrow we're going to have the final 53 is going to be done by 4 p.m. And then by Wednesday, we're going to have the 15, 16 practice squad players already settled. So that's where we're at right now. If you're getting Eagles tickets or any type of going to a concert, festival, or anything this year, make sure you click the link below and sign up for SeatGeek. Click my link to get $20 off any type of tickets you want. I really came through for you guys for this partnership because I really wanted people to, make sure you go to these games this year. I know they're not cheap, but at least $20 off is still $20 off regardless. So definitely hit that link for that. If you haven't subscribed, 348 in the chat, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the stream. Thank you so much for everybody joining up tonight. We're not getting out of here, but I just want to let everybody know I appreciate everybody coming in today. Okay. Let me read things clearly. Matt says, hopefully it isn't like last year where offense showed quite a bit of rest during the Pats game due to a lack of playing in the preseason, but we shall see. That's the only thing I'm worried about, dude. One joint practice. That's it. That's all the starters have had. No game-like situation, no nothing. Don't sleep on Fred Johnson's been a big favorite. Fred Johnson's going to make the team, obviously. He's going to make the team. Fred Johnson has, been progressing, so we'll see what he does. I'm going to get shit from everybody. I already know it. Yo, Dre, what's going on, dude? Appreciate the super chat, my friend, with the super chat. You know I love you. I expected to see a rookie to stand out in preseason against 2s and 3s, and definitely expected it from Nolan Smith, and we didn't get any of that. See, I stopped talking about Nolan Smith, and then Nolan Smith gets talked about again. Ah, my God. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with this. It's just one of those things now where if he's not producing against 2s, as you said, Dre, or 3s, or even, he's showing up in the second half of game in preseason games. That's the most he's done to this point. And that's where we're at. It's if he wasn't a first round pick, I probably wouldn't care that much. But because of that, Howie Roseman has had some good drafts the last few years. Has done some really good trades. This one, Nolan Smith was supposed to be a top 10 pick, bro. A top 12 pick. Remember, all the analysis, who are they going to pick here, Jalen Carter or Nolan Smith? I'm like, I have never wanted Nolan Smith that fucking early, ever. I have never made a video about Nolan Smith being I have never even thought. I thought late first rounder. I said late first, early second, maybe. When I thought a little highly of him. But the man should have been a third-round pick to this point. Right now, as it stands. Hopefully, we see more. But we'll see how it goes. Keegan did great. Keegan's been fantastic, man. Rounds at 33 is perfect number for DeJean, 100%. I like the number. Rounds to Sidney Brown would be really nice to have right now. You think he will have an impact halfway through the season? I understand he's coming off an ACL, but how much more time is he still? Ryland and everybody in this chat, if you think Sidney Brown is going to come back and be 100%, number one, you're not in football shape when you come off that injury. That man is going to have to really get into football shape when he comes back because all you're doing is rehabbing. Do not even think about Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown will be on the PUP list, okay? Sidney Brown could be on the PUP list. So if he's on the PUP list by the regular season, he will be out in automatic 4 weeks. And then after that, the Eagles have to make a decision. Do you put him on IR for 8 weeks? That's probably what they're going to do. They're going to shelf him for the year. We need Sidney Brown to be healthy. So he got his injury in November, December. If he got his injury in September, he would be fine right now. Probably to this point, he probably would be in a lot better shape. And yeah, he's a big loss to this cornerback room. He's a big loss, especially to the safety room, because if you had Sidney Brown in there, so you have something to look forward to next year with Sidney Brown. I'm not looking for Sidney Brown to make any type of impact this year because of that injury coming off of that shit, at the end of the, you know what I mean? So I would he's got to stay healthy. There's no Sidney Brown being in shape, and as soon as he comes back in 5 weeks, he's going to be ready. It's not going to happen that way. Mac 2 Ill, what's going on? Junie, what's going on, dude? Hope you're having a good day, man. You're good. You're good, Dre. I don't expect everyone to show up. Trust me, it's people got shit to do. Matt, I used to trash DeJean, which is more moronic and annoying. Trash DeJean. Bill Hope says Ricks doesn't fit the scheme. I agree. Almost number one does, which I hate. It makes drafting and bringing in free agents that much hard. It does because he's putting the scheme over his players, and he's forcing players to change position entirely. Defensive ends that don't like. Here's another player on the edge I can't fucking I haven't heard nothing but his number being changed. Can we all agree that Josh Sweat hasn't been even heard of this offseason program? When's the last time you heard about Josh Sweat this offseason? It hasn't been much, honestly. It really hasn't. Hasn't done much of fucking anything at this point. You know? Besides changing his number. Hey, remember last year Josh Sweat was bitching about he hates being in coverage? Like, dude, this is a contract year for Josh Sweat. You're taking players out of their aggressive ability and now switching them to a passive off-ball approach now. That's the issue I have with Vic Fangio's defense. It literally changes your whole draft. It changes the way you sign players. It changes the way you try to produce players. Now, for some, it has worked better. For Quinyon Mitchell and for what's it called? Bryce Huff. And some, it just doesn't work that way. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. Because Josh Sweat has been like the ghost of Christmas past. I don't know where he's been. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. We got a super chat from Brian Pumper. What's going on, man? He says, Joey, you have turned into a Nola Nihilite? You did it, man. I'm going to start the nastiest agenda known to mankind. What? It's just, you know what I mean? Like, I know people are going to ask, but defensive line is like, I think part of it is just because we're not used to defensive line being lackluster. Every year, just think of it. The one thing I'm happy about this defense is they really put a lot of resources into the secondary. I think that's been the most impressive thing that they've done. One thing we didn't expect them to do, going after 2 corners the first 2 fucking picks. We didn't expect that. But the way the draft went to offensive players being off the board until 14, 15, DeJean really fell into her lap in the second. Should have been a first-round pick. I mean, you technically got first. I mean, I think you got 2 first-round talents. There's no doubt about it. 2 top talents from this draft. So should be interesting, you know. We got a super chat from Young Truth 512. What's going on, man? He says they're gonna put Anaya Smith PUP list. He took MRI. So if he's on PUP, he's gonna miss like 4 weeks for the season. He'll automatically miss 4. I mean, I don't know is there a report right now? I mean, I don't think there's an actual report on where they're putting him yet. But the rumors are, unless it changed just now, the rumors were when the news came out, because this ankle injury to Anaya Smith, this is the second time he's been hurt this offseason program. He missed all of minicamp and most of OTAs. He missed all of OTAs, and he missed like the second to last. I think he made it to like the last practice of minicamp. So it wouldn't shock me if he's on IR, just because at this point, like, I don't think the Eagles are in any rush to do anything with him right now. So we'll see how it goes. Should have traded Sweat, not Reddick. Yeah, it's alarming. Josh Sweat, I haven't heard anything from Josh Sweat this offseason. Nothing. For a guy that's on a contract year, restructured contract, 13, 14 million fully guaranteed, I haven't heard much else than that. Yeah, he had 2 sacks against Fred Johnson. Great. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he had like 3 sacks. No, he had 3 sacks against Fred Johnson that one. Josh Sweat had 3 sacks against Fred Johnson in that one practice. Like, what am I going to take from Fred Johnson? Like, what am I going to take from that? I mean, 3 sacks? I mean, come on now. T-Berry said, I wonder if there's be an Eagles an edge rusher available for us to get during cuts or a surprise trade that we didn't think it was a possibility. I don't know who they're going to trade for. I don't think they have interest in trading for any edge rusher at this point. And Yannick Ngakoue is sitting right there. They don't have to get all they have to get is a rotational guy that's gonna rush the quarterback and hopefully get you 5 to 7 this year, maybe. But be disruptive. And Yannick Ngakoue has been consistent every year. He might not get you 6 to 9, 6 to 10 sacks. Maybe not. Maybe. You never know. But I feel like they need more meat on that edge. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Nolan Smith preserving his Goku powers for regular season. I hope so. And then I make a video. Oh, you're hyping him up. Now you're hyping him up. I'm like, nah, dude. Like, if he plays bad, he's gonna get shit on, and if he plays good, he's gonna be congratulated. Like, that's how it goes around here. Matt said, because I have a feeling we either trading Sweat or cutting him, but only time will tell. Yeah, I've heard some things about trading Sweat, but that's from a fan perspective. I mean, I think Bradbury could be on the trade block. I think Bradbury could. I think Maddox could. I think, I've heard some rumors about Sweat, but I don't think anything crazy. Lawson White says, who do you think gets the first touchdown of the season? I think it's going to be Saquon Barkley. I think Saquon will get the first one this year. I do. Matt, I think Saquon gets the first. Yeah. I agree. I mean, who talks? I mean, who watches Nick Wright? Nick Wright is just a fucking Eagle hater, bro. Like, I never watched that shit. I see it on Twitter. Like, people leave his clips there, but other than that, I would never watch that fucking show. Nolan Smith 16 sacks. Just imagine that. Neil says, had to block Donnie. Can't deal with stupid right now. Wait, what? What do you mean? Deal with stupid. Brian said, what happens to Sean Bradley? He tore his Achilles last season. He's not here, dude. He's been visiting teams. The Eagles got rid of him. Or maybe it was the last year of his deal. I don't know. Sean Bradley has not been here the whole entire offseason. He's been looking for a team to go. Neil says Davis is another guy that may not get a second contract. If we get the Jordan Davis that we ended up getting the early season last year, like, we thought he was just a run stuffer, but holy shit, man, that guy was getting. Look, he was getting his pass rushing was fantastic, but everybody fell off last year. Okay, I can't even put the blame on just him. Everybody fell off. But let me tell you something, like. All this, yeah, like Milton Williams, you're going to be losing a lot on this defensive line. Like, just say if Jordan Davis doesn't play well, Milton Williams leaves in free agency. You know what I mean? You're losing Josh Sweat after this year, Brandon Graham to retirement. You're losing a lot of fucking players on that defensive line. It's like they're going to have to build that. They're going to have to build that edge position all over again. Really? I mean, you drafted Jalix Hunt, obviously, and like I said, you have Bryce Huff for the long term, but other than that, you're not going to have anybody next year. So I'm wondering if they're literally keeping tabs on Milton Williams this year. He's going to get paid. I don't see a high price coming from the Eagles, especially off a rookie contract. These guys want to get their bag after their rookie deal. We've seen some contracts. Like, I get it. Devontae Smith taking less money is amazing. Using that 5th-year option as a loophole is pretty good. So the defensive line, is taking a hit next year. So if Jordan Davis is in good shape, all I've been hearing, he's been, and look, he's a guy has had a really good offseason program. I think he's done really well. He's been disruptive. He's gotten hits on quarterbacks. He's been pretty good. So if I'm hearing what's been pretty good, I'm hoping, that's where it is right now. But if Jordan Davis does nothing this year, and if he's hurt the whole season, I think the Eagles are just going to hold on to him for one more year and call it done. I don't know. Or they trade him, or I don't know. They probably sign Milton Williams. I think really it's between Jordan Davis and Milton Williams. If Jordan doesn't play well and Milton's having a fantastic year, I think they're going to try to re-sign Milton Williams. I think everybody sleeps on him. I wasn't a big fan of Milton Williams being drafted at all. I really wasn't a big fan of him. That was like a Jonathan Gannon pick. That was Milton Williams was an analytical pick. He wasn't even a really testing wise, he was great in his testing. But he's got that short area quickness, explosiveness off the line. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Matt says Nolan Smith is doo-doo from what I saw. Ngaka is hurt. Who? Ngakwe you're talking about? He is hurt? I didn't see that. Robinson Street Eagles says, Robinson Street Eagles rookie wide receiver Nolan Smith reported discomfort in his ankle hamstring after completing Saturday's game. Source say the 5th rounder is getting an MRI. Yeah, it's going to be PUP or it's going to be, from what I'm hearing from all the beat writers, it's going to be IR. So he'll be out. So what's automatic IR? 8 weeks? He's out like 8 weeks, something like that. Put Nolan on PUP, let him develop. He ain't feel. Yeah, they're definitely not putting him on PUP. Like unfortunately, dude, we need him to play. They're putting him on PUP is going to make it worse. He needs to be thrown into the fire, and the Eagles need to say, we're throwing you in, and we want you to show us what you got. Like putting him on PUP is not going to help him. What, practicing with the Eagles during the week is going to make him produce? No, that motherfucker needs to be put in games on the spot, in the fire, go through hell. Let's see what you got. That's where we're at right now with the situation. Donnie says, save, don't hate me, because the future boy. Tommy says, Joey, from watching DeJean play and move around the field this weekend, he's a safety 100%. Boom, I love it. Says he needs to work on disguising his blitz and turning his head back to the ball. Yeah, that's like I said, his first game. I mean, for a first game, not being really physical or hitting anybody since November, finally getting his feet wet a little bit. I think I believe it 100% he is a safety, but like the coverages were a little that receiver, Lucky Johnson, whatever his name was, he didn't put like 2 feet in bounds. And I think DeJean would have been beat on both of those plays if he was a better receiver. That's just me. But I think some of his getting across blockers, being involved in being involved in tackling behind the line of scrimmage, his tackling is A+ perfect. It reminds me of Malcolm Jenkins in a lot of ways. You're looking for him to be that adjustment type guy that can move around your Swiss Army knife for this defense. But as a top safety, he could be that. And I think we're gonna see some good things. I don't know how they feel about DeJean being more ready than Reed Blankenship. What's going on with James Bradbury? The one thing I do not want to happen is for DeJean to sit this year. That's what I'm hoping does not happen. So we'll see. The Wide Shot said Vic could turn this defense into a top 15 defense. I think Vic is the best acquisition of this offseason. No, look, you need to be top 15 to be. You want to be an average. It's a passing league, okay? This defense needs to be nothing but average or better. If you want to be average, you got to be top 15. You want to be an average defense, you got to be top 15, okay? Could they be top 5? Could they be top 3? Could they be the best defense in the league? We'll see. Steve says, I don't hate anybody down here. You're allowed to have it. Everybody's allowed to have their opinion in here. I will never, as long as there's no racial bullshit, there's nobody personally attacking somebody, those guys will get blocked. Those guys will be blocked by me and they'll never come back unless they make a million other accounts. Okay, but when it comes to opinions for football, do not attack each other over it, because at the end of the day, we want this team to win a second championship. Respect everybody's opinions. You could disagree, that's perfectly fine, but when it starts to get personal, that's when I have to cut it off, Philly says, y'all talking about Nolan Smith now? What to wait till he gets the ones he'll have better opportunity to get pressure with all the other stars on that line? Well, yeah, we're hoping we win the other starter. Yeah, when Nolan Smith is thrown into a group, but as a first round pick, it doesn't look good. If he was a second to a third rounder, I probably would give him a little bit more slack. But because he's a first round pick and he should be shining, shining a little bit over some of these other guys during these games, it makes me a little nervous. Yeah, it does. So that's where I'm at with the whole situation. Steve said, we've seen this before with Jordan Davis. I won't believe in him until after week 7. Yeah, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, he's not really dropped the weight. He's gotten more lean. And no, he's had a good camp. I mean, from what I hear, it's a good camp. We could say, oh, we have to wait till everybody hits the field, not just this player, or that player, or this player, or that player. Let's see what Jalen Hurts looks like. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how Jalen Hurts is going to look his first game with barely any fucking reps in game-like situations. Look, Jordan Love and that fucking offense has had a lot of playing time in game-like preseason, game-like games. That's the only problem I'm really having. Like, I don't want this offense to come out looking slow as shit. I really don't. You know, that's where I'm at right now with this whole situation. 125 says the Super Bowl will be a 35-34 for us. Joe Burrow and the Bengals will have the ball in Cincy 43-yard line. Smith will outrun their LT. We will force fumble that. JC will recover and Eagles will win it. That would be crazy. I don't want it to get to that though. I think it will still be a close game regardless. But you don't want to be 0-1 going into that fucking home opener against the Falcons. I mean, the Falcons ain't no slouch either, bro. Like, the Falcons got better defensively. Their offense looks pretty good, but their defense looks better. Like, the Falcons are changing up a little. The Falcons they're looking good. They're looking good. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not shitting on them. I'm not taking them lightly either. You're taking nobody lightly. That's where I'm at with this. That's where I'm at right now in the whole discussion. Brian said, I think DeJean getting an illegal contact penalty was probably nerves, but that has played pretty good. I didn't think he was going to be like Brian Dawkins, just give him time. Yeah, no, I get it. Everyone is like, what did you expect DeJean to do not hitting since November? Like, be like fucking just, he's all over the place. Look at it. No, it's not going to happen. Like, this guy just came back from injury. It's unfortunate. It sucks. He missed 2 weeks of preseason. He just made it to joint practices, but he was limited, though. So he wasn't in a lot of the full activities. He wasn't really hitting too much. So that's where he was at. Matt says, yeah, and there's no reason to get personal over football opinions, period. We all want what's best for the Eagles in the end, and that's all that matters, regardless of our differences in opinion. Yeah, that's what it is, dude. Look, we already deal with enough where if you like something and someone else doesn't like something, you have to get shit on for it, and I don't like that when it's to a personal level. Like, hey, I like horror movies, and someone says I hate them. If you like horror movies, you're a piece of shit, or at the end of the day, it's like, if we like a player and someone else doesn't like a player, it's okay to like the player, and it's okay, but to bash somebody over somebody liking a fucking player, disagreeing is fine, but like personally attacking somebody over is fucking ridiculous. I will not have that shit. Thomas said, why is that we could see DeJean playing safety, but Vic doesn't see it yet? Well, because he just started playing, dude. It's like they're not going to throw him at safety immediately. I think this is a slow process. You have to realize this. Like, when DeJean comes right into a game, like, they're not going to put so much on his plate as soon as coming off of injury. They're going to give him a little bit of time. So give it a little bit of time. Like I said, like, they have another week of practice. It might not come the first week of the season. It might be the second or third week where he's more 100%. He's still working back to his health because he came off that hamstring injury. So they're not going to throw him at multiple positions and go crazy with him. They worked him at nickel, and that's where they felt comfortable. They put him at punt return a few times, so they put a little bit extra on his plate for a few punt returns. He returned one for not even a few yards, so I don't expect DeJean to be the starting punt returner at all. But they tried doing some things with him. Like I said, it's more of a time element coming off that injury. The wise traps. I'm going to be real. Jordan Davis looks like a different person. That guy has put in the work this offseason. I generally believe JD is going to do everything he could do to be his best. I'm very hopeful. Yeah, me too. I feel good. I feel comfortable to see where he's going to be at. I agree there. Antonio Acevedo says Eagles 41 Packers. That would be a great game. That'd be a great game. You'd feel really good as an Eagles fan going into your home opener. Telling that this is the Brazil game is the fucking home opener, but you know what I mean. We have a game the second week at home against the Falcons, so we don't have a what? We don't have a division game, I think, until like week 7. I mean, we have a bit. Brian, the Packers game is definitely going to be a tough one. It's going to be tough on both sides. Like, you think, Packers are going to every team is going to their first game. The first game is always a toss-up. The first game is going to say which team is ready. I don't think the first game never defines what a team is going to look like during the year, but usually the teams that are supposed to beat specific teams don't necessarily win those games. And the teams that are most likely supposed to lose sometimes win these first games because, like I said, it's a toss-up. It's the first game of the season. It's who's really ready and who's not, like that's what it comes down to. I hate this game because I feel like it's just, you're not, you're in a neutral part. I don't know. You have no home field advantage as a home game, which really sucks. You know what I mean? I heard the tickets are really expensive going to Brazil. For Eagles fans traveling to Brazil, it's like over $900 for like a fucking 50-yard line midsection fucking ticket. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's kind of crazy. East Cameron for Life, you can't cut Nolan Smith. Needs more playing time. Stars not with the practice squad. I agree. Dynasty Joey, you've been keeping an eye on that Tams linebacker. Who? Rams linebacker, or you think we're good now? That Ernie guy that had like 100. What do you have? Like 145 tackles last year, like 4.5 sacks, something like that. There's a. It looks like there is a linebacker that's available for trade, from the Rams, and he wants a new contract. He only has this year, and he wants a new contract. So, if he had like 2 years left, I would say it could happen. But with 1 year left, giving up draft capital and not really knowing if you're going to re-sign this guy, I don't know if the Eagles make that move. Your starting linebackers are 1-year deals. Zach Bond and Devin White are 1-year deals right now. Trotter Jr. has played pretty good. I think that instinct just needs to come out a little bit more because I feel like he has a nose for the football. I think he's disruptive. I think he has had a fucking amazing camp. I think he's been a lot more than I ever expected Trotter Jr. to really do. I honestly didn't think he was going to make this much noise. And the Kobe Dean obviously has been pretty solid since after that open practice. I think he's been good. I'll give Nolan Smith his flowers. Sorry, I'll give. Oh God, never mind. I'll give Nakobe Dean his flowers. If he plays well, there's no doubt about it. And I think Ben Van Simmeren is going to be your 5th as of right now, just because he's had a good camp. He's getting better every single off season. He's an athletic freak. Terminology is coming to him a lot more when it comes to. I think he just fits well in Fangio's defense, making a lot more plays. Physical player. He's giving his all. Ben Van Simmeren is definitely a fan favorite, no doubt. No doubt. I think we're there, bro. I think we're there. Ron says, you think our tush push win percentage goes down? No, I think it's better. I think it'll be better. Why? Because of Kelsey not being there? The one thing that you're getting from Juergens is he is undersized like Kelsey, almost a mirror image, but what you're getting from him is his technique is crazy fucking ridiculous. Okay, this is a guy that's played track and field, a bunch of other sports. He has if you watch some of his practices that were recorded from this off-season program, he doesn't give up on plays. He's fast off the ball. Like, I don't think the Eagles are really going to miss a beat when it comes to the push-tush, brotherly shove. But the one thing that I was actually, like, really interested of this year. Somebody sent in my chat probably like a month ago, was like, why don't you run the tush push with Saquon Barkley? I don't think that's really a bad idea. I think he would run it even better, to be honest with you. With those thighs, that lower body that he has, no Diddy, but still, you know what I mean? I think that would be a great idea. I think that would be cool to kind of changed up a little bit, not get your quarterbacks, I think Saquon would be great for brotherly shove. And even if teams know it's coming, I don't think they could stop it, to be honest with you. That's where I'm at, Brian Puffer, Super Chat, thank you so much, man. He says, yeah, we have 3 Ernest Jones on the team, Devin, N'Kobe, and Trotter, blitzes who can't cover. Devin White, I don't think is bad at coverage. I think Devin White is better downhill, and I think Devin White can run east to west. He can run sideline to sideline. He's a thumper, there's no doubt. I think Devin White is going to resurge his career in Philadelphia. He knows the Eagles need a linebacker of the future, and he knew that. He got offered more money from other teams. Howie Roseman's like, look what happened to me. I was in the boiler room. I came out in 2017. I changed this fucking thing around. You know what I mean? So, like, it kind of told the story of Howie Roseman, how he came back on top, and he thinks Devin White can come back on top in his career, and Devin White thinks he can as well. Zach Baun, I don't know. For me, Zach Baun can apparently cover. Zach Baun came out as a transition player from linebacker to edge rusher, from what it looked like, or was it edge rusher to linebacker? I forgot. Had a couple picks last year. So Zach Baun on a 1-year deal. But N'Kobe Dean, I don't think they could put him in coverage, bro. I think if they're going to blitz with him, they just blitz with him. They run him downhill, and that's where I think that's where N'Kobe Dean is good. Like, I don't think N'Kobe Dean is meant for this scheme at all, but he's got to play better, though. So I don't think all of them are bad. I just feel like you have more downhill runners than you do coverage guys. I think Zach Baun's a coverage guy. Devin White is an okay balance, but not great at it. And N'Kobe Dean is definitely not. And Trotter, I'll say he's still learning right now. I'm not going to put too much on his plate as a late round pick to say he sucks at coverage, but could get better later on. I want to see him throw that axe. I want to see that axe chop this year. I really do. I want to see it. I don't see why not. We got 313 people in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. Hit the like button. You hit the like button. It helps out the channel tremendously. 1 like. It helps. You do that. It helps tremendously. If you guys haven't, this video is sponsored by SeatGeek. Make sure you get your Eagles tickets. Promo code Joey Shakes. Click the link in the description below and get $20 off your first order of tickets, whether it's concert, festival, sports. Go get your tickets. $20 on me. I want to thank SeatGeek for sponsoring this video, the stream today. But we're going to be streaming. We're streaming. So here's the schedule, guys. So what we're doing every week of the season, we're going to have 5 streams per week. 5 streams per week. We're going to have videos every day. Obviously, we're going to be streaming every game every single week and doing our thing. So usually I go to my girlfriend's house. Me and my girlfriend will watch, and I'm just going out of my fucking mind at times. But, I hope you guys definitely do join up, and support. So I appreciate it so much from everybody. JL, so the weapons we have: A.J. Brown, Devon Smith, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, Jahan Dotson, Jalen Hurts. We beaten the Packer. There's got to be a weakness. I need to look. So by the end of this week, I want to look into the Packers, because this weekend we're going to do our preview video of the Packers. Okay, our preview video. And we're going to see what we're going to really take advantage of in this game. Okay. We're worried about our defense probably more than our offense. I think that's definite. But I think what we're going to be worried about too is that because the starters haven't played much, one fucking joint practice, it doesn't make me comfortable. That's the fucking truth. It is what it is. So we'll see. Torville says, I think we'll only carry 5 receivers, 3 running backs. We will probably go heavy DB and heavy lines. Also, we should carry 3 tight ends, and Calcaterra being injury prone. Well, I agree with Calcaterra being. I agree with carrying 3 tight ends. EJ Jenkins, I think, has been. I don't think EJ Jenkins is anything amazing right now, but I think he's been very productive. Okay. Albert O, injury prone. Calcaterra can't stay healthy. And Dallas Goedert has an oblique injury right now. You know what I mean? He could miss the first week. If the Eagles lose Dallas Goedert that first week, that's going to really suck, like beyond. And we know that Kellen Moore really likes to use his tight ends. Keeping only 5 receivers, I don't think so. I think they keep 6 because necessarily if it's 5, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. So A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, Britton Covey, Johnny Wilson, and then your 6, Anais Smith could be going to IR or PUP. It's going to be Paris Campbell or John Ross. You're going to keep. You have to keep 6. I don't think it's going to be 5. It has to be 6 right now. I don't see him keep. If they keep 5, I'll be a little shocked. But if they keep 6, I think that's my comfort zone. I feel like that's where they're going to go. Brian Saransky says Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Hold on. Let me make sure I can see this. Okay. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. will make a major impact on defense in the second half of the season when he gets more knowledge to play the middle linebacker. Yeah, like I feel like it's like I said, you can't put much pressure on Trotter Jr. I think for a late round pick, he's done pretty fucking good in the amount of noise and the plays. You know, he's had a couple whiff tackles in that second game. Like I get it. Like he had a couple whiff tackles. Even the third game, you know, he had like I think one good angle on a tackle. But other than that, you know what I mean? I think it comes down to instinct. I think he has a nose for the football. He's always around the football. He's disruptive. That instinct really needs to come out, get his hands on the guy, bring him down to the ground. That second game against the Patriots, he got in the backfield. It would have been a 3-yard loss. It turned to a -1. But at least what Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is doing is you're being very disruptive where you're ruining the timing of a play, okay? And somebody else will make the play because you were very disruptive, okay? I don't like whiff tackles. That's probably the number one thing that annoys me when it's an open space and you miss a tackle in the backfield. Kind of sucks, but I can't put too much on him for that. I think it's just more of a time thing that we'll see later on for what's going on. Dante, I thought you said you want him to throw that ass, Joey. What? What happened? Oh. Matt says, smash the like button, sub and spam. There's all the likes and views, subs he can get for all the hard work and effort he puts in every day, bringing us the best community. I appreciate it so much, man. Appreciate it, Matt. Always supporting, man. All right, Dog of Ice says, who's been cut? All right, so we're going to go over this again. I did this at the beginning of the stream. We're going to do this again. For all the new people that are in here, 340-something people in the chat, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the stream. Thank you so much. All right, so let's see here. So I'm going to just go by all the tweets because I'm going to go randomly by the tweets as of right now. If I'm missing anybody, let me know. Let me know. Okay, so cuts so far. Hold on. I'm here. All right, so Sean Stephens has been waived. Cornerback Sean Stephens has been waived. Eagles waived defensive tackle PJ Mustipher. You know, Tupelutu is probably making the roster. I think they're keeping 5. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Ojomo, Williams, and I think it's going to be Tupelutu. I think you're going to have 5 right there. Linebacker Brandon Smith, I think, could be a practice squad player. I think he's very good at special teams. I think Brandon Smith had a really good third game. Oren Burks at linebacker had a pretty good game too. So we'll see what happens with that if they keep Oren Burks. Oren Burks missed the entire offseason program, and he made it to that last game. And I thought he did well. He had a no coverage. He had an unblocked sack, and he was pretty disruptive a couple times. He did pretty well. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like a lot of these fucking guys. I mean, even Oren Burks came in his third game and did really well. And Nolan Smith, I just don't get it. Not to go back on it, but I gotta say things like this. Quinn, let's see. Will Greer has been released. That's obvious. I don't know why, but we know. Parry Enkerson. I'm not going to say his name the way it is because people will, call me a, you know what? Outside linebacker Julian Aquara, guard Max Sharping. Max Sharping is probably the worst offensive lineman we have. Eagles waived offensive lineman Jason Poe. We literally just signed him this past week, so he was just a body, really. Let's see here. Anaya Smith could be heading to IR or PUP because of the ankle. Discomfort in his ankle and hamstring after Saturday's game. This is the second time he's been hurt, so Anaya Smith could be shelved. Tight end Kevin Foch. They're waiving him. He was a pickup after our tight end group was starting to get hurt a little bit. Andre Sam, I'm hoping he makes the practice squad. I hope safety Andre Sam makes the practice squad. He was waived today. Let's see if he comes back off waivers. Defensive end Teron Jackson was waived. The Eagles waived. Wide receiver Griffin Hebert, he is gone. Eagles are waiving wide receiver Austin Watkins. He is gone. And that's really it. That's all I have so far. I've been looking as I've been streaming tonight. If anybody else was cut, I think there could be more. I could miss maybe a player or two. I think I have most of it right now. So by 4 p.m. tomorrow, we should have the practice. We should have the final 53, and then obviously on Wednesday we'll have the practice squad. Okay. Like I said, hope Andre Sam makes it in. Brandon Smith at linebacker makes it in practice squad. I think those are guys you definitely want to try to develop and keep here. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, Teron Jackson. Yeah, Teron didn't really have a bad preseason. I thought he did pretty good at times. I guess just not enough for the Eagles. You look at edge, you need more than what you have. You know what I mean? So that's where we're at right now. I thought this was the Eagles posting this, but it's obviously somebody that has the Eagles logo in their Twitter account. Yeah, no, Nolan Smith is getting like Nolan Smith is getting so much shit. It says Nolan Smith the entire preseason. Just if you could see this. It says the caption is Nolan Smith the entire preseason. I can't, dude. I can't. Oh my god, it's fucking killing me. Nah, no news on no news on Eli Ricks. Nothing. That's a good sign, though. If we haven't heard anything, I mean, it doesn't mean there's still a whole nother day until 4 p.m. or today, I should say. Well, tomorrow, technically, it's 11:47 right now, but so we'll see what happens with that. So that was just that video was literally just it was a joke. It wasn't actually him, but I thought it was under the Eagles page. Like, oh, somebody's working out, but no, it was a dude that I think it was a Cowboy fan, acting like an Eagle fan on Twitter or something. Oh man, people crack me up. J Dog, what's going on? Says Joey, who do you think will get more playing time? Kenny G or Will Shipley? As crazy as it sounds, I think Will Shipley will have more running back snaps. Yeah, it really depends. Like obviously, we know who's getting more of the snaps with Saquon Barkley, but I think it depends on. I don't know actually. I mean, I don't think Will Shipley will be. I think when it comes to the passing game, he'll be used a little bit more. Kenny G, I'm sorry, but he's had a good camp. Like this is a contract year for Kenny G. I thought he's had a really good camp, no issue at all. Thought he did really well. I give my flowers and respect to guys that I'm not really highly on in their careers in Philadelphia. And Kenny G, I think I have to blame the coaching staff more because they gave Kenny G more opportunity than DeAndre Swift. I mean, we didn't never check down to a run. We never checked down to a running back last year. Never threw a screen pass to a running back last year. So it's a little, it's a little crazy. Joe says, so did the guy film that just to make fun of Nolan? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I saw it actually thinking it was. I thought it actually was Nolan. Like when I didn't look because the Eagles logo, is the profile picture. So I thought maybe it was just like a guy working out and like they were showing somebody working out, but that's not the case. Brian says Rick's possible trade for picks. I really hope not, dude. I want to keep him here. I really don't want Rick's to go anywhere, to be honest. But like I said, you're deep at corner right now, especially on the outside. And unfortunately, like Ricks can't play on the inside. I don't know, because I think as a press guy, I think Ricks does a lot better. Rick's off ball is not good. And unfortunately, I don't think he fits here. You know what I mean? It's a Philly thing. Tomorrow 3 played. I wanted tomorrow 3. I want cut James Dingleberry, Reed Blankenship, aka the Ghost of Curry and Ken. Well, you can't cut Gainwell and you can't cut Reed. Like if you cut Reed, you're just making your safety group even worse. You're gonna cut 2 safeties just for one to make it. I mean, you're gonna cut 2 safeties. No, you're gonna cut at least 1 safety, maybe. And that'll be Bradbury if that's the case. Reed is not a bad player. I think his coverage ability is a little lackluster at times, but other than that, I think he's a solid player, especially as a role player as a number 3. So we'll see. Donnie said, Joey, should Howie call Dominican Sue? What do you think? You think he's too old? For me, I don't think they need. Inside is not where I'm looking for. It's really on the outside is what I'm looking for right now. So. The Wise Tribe said, if we lose a good young cornerback and keep Bradbury, I'm going to be so sad. Yeah, no, well, dude, Bradbury hasn't played corner, so that's the good thing. The bad thing is he's a safety right now, and I don't think he's going to be reliable. That's just me. I don't think he can cover tight ends. I don't think if Bradbury said I'm not meaning that I'm going to stay at cornerback. Like he took him out. Bradbury took himself out of the position to play safety because he knew that Isaiah Rodgers was coming in here. They drafted 2 corners this year. There was, Keely Ringo was already here. Eli Ricks was already here. So he knew there was a lot of corners in the building. So there was going to be a lot of corners. He took himself out of it. With Bradbury being at safety now, I think we're fine. I don't think he's not he's not on the depth chart as a cornerback. So that's the good thing. Carl says, bro said he wants Reed cut. Is he mental? Yeah, no. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, look, the opinion is opinion, but like that's the last move I want done right now. Bradbury being cut from safety, sure, because I think he's just hyped up, whether it's a fake hype up from the coaching staff to get his value up, or they really actually think he's good at this position. I don't know. I haven't seen it. They should have used Rashad Penny in red zone. Like, I think with Price, with Kendall Milton, I think you have 2 really good north-south backs you can really use in red zone if you really want, Torvald said if they cut Ricks, all but guaranteed Cowboys pick him up with Bland out for a couple months. Ricks is only 22 years old. We should cut Bradbury and keep Ricks. I 100% agree with that. I agree 100% with that. So Philly Dick says, Philly Big Dog 68, because of the ghost of covering sucks at covering. I hate Blankenship. Well, dude, but I'm saying like yeah, but Nakobe Dean's not great at coverage, but as a downhill linebacker, when he's used that way, he's good. I think Blankenship's better at Nakobe Dean in coverage, even at 2 different positions, but still, like, Reed's gonna have his day. Reed's gonna have his moments, but Call from Philadelphia says, Reed is a big, strong, good hitting safety. He should be playing strong safety. CJ is a great in coverage, a ball hawk. He should be playing free. I don't know why they have them flipped. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure. Thomas, I would cut Bradbury and keep Ricks. Why keep an older player who's not going to be here over a young talent player with potential? Yeah, I mean, look, it's a youth movement going on in Philadelphia, especially on the defensive side of the ball now. To keep Bradbury in the building, he's got no future with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's on contract for 1 more year after this year. Okay, and he's getting a big salary right now. He's got a big salary going on right now. You know what I mean? Mike Revex says we won't cut Ricks. I hope not. Ryan said, y'all think Ricks is an all-pro is laughable? He got cooked last year while being on the QBs. We're targeting him left and right. Well, he was put out of position last year, and honestly, he's not in the right scheme. The Miami game, he played really well. Look what he did to Tyreek Hill. He played press. He got up to the line. I think when he gets physical at the line, gets the, doesn't let these receivers get a free release off the line. I think he's good in that direction, but I don't think it's a player that you really have to give up on right now. I mean, everybody got cooked last year, bro. You lost Zach McPherson and Avonte Maddox in the nickel spot. You lost both your nickel players. Like you moved James Bradbury, he was crap on the inside. Keely Ringo on the inside, he was crap. I mean, they all were crap playing on the inside. Nobody was good on the inside last year. You can't rotate nickel corners throughout the year. Like, you can't rotate guys. You don't do rotations at corner. You don't do rotations at anywhere on that defense besides your defensive line. You're not rotating fucking anybody unless you're doing 3 safety sets or you know what I mean? Like you're you know what I mean? Rick's got them long arms. No diddy, Joey. He does. Philly thinks that the 3 players I want cut tomorrow. All right, I read that. Torval says Van Summer might have the best instincts out of all the linebackers. Not saying he is the best, but he just has a nose for the ball. I agree with that. I think he's gotten way better. This was an undrafted linebacker from Michigan State. I mean, he's a freak athlete, man, but everyone had issues. He had issues with tackling last year. But I think, man, like, he plays tough, he hits hard, and he's like unrelenting. Like, he's Ben Van Sumeren, is just somebody that could come in for maybe a game or two, and who knows what he could do. You know what I mean? I agree with that. The Wild Tribe says, yeah, there's no world where keeping Bradbury is the right decision. If Howie holds on to him just to try and force a trade, and we lose a young guy, that's a bonehead move. Yeah. If they keep him in the building way too long, I mean, who knows? They could trade him tomorrow. Who knows? There's a lot. So we will do a stream tomorrow on the Final 53 tomorrow. So we will do a stream. We'll have a video in the morning, obviously, on some of the stuff that we're looking into, going into like the final day of the Final 53 by 4 p.m. But I think we'll do a live stream once the Final 53 is set. We'll do a stream. We'll have a video the next day. We'll do our thing, and that's what we'll be at, come that day. So. Brian said Josh Jobe should be gone more than Eli Ricks, but it seems they're going to listen to offers for Ricks before they make. I mean, I haven't seen anything on they're listening to offers for Ricks. I haven't heard Ricks' name today, so that's a good thing going into the second day. If he was an easy cut, he would have been gone. Okay, McPherson was an easy cut. Did Josh Jobe get released? I didn't read that, but Josh Jobe should be gone as well. Jobe should be gone as well. Zach McPherson was a 4th-round pick out of Texas Tech. He had a really bad rookie season. I think last year he was looking really good last offseason program, and then he ended up getting hurt, tore his ACL, and in the offseason program. And then they lost Avonte Maddox. So then they really just lost a lot. And you lost one position pretty easily. Ryan Hunter said Zappars were going to be rusty in the first couple of drives, which sucks ass. While Green Bay will be nice and lubed up. Lubed up. No, I get it because they've played preseason. That's the only shit that I can't stand about it is that every team, Patrick Mahomes has played preseason. Jordan Love has played preseason. Like, I'm hoping like they don't have these big runs with Josh Jacobs up the fucking middle because it's going to fucking kill us. I hope not. Mike says Ross will probably be cut and brought back to practice squad. Potentially, yeah. I mean, with Anaya Smith being on PUP to IR with his hamstring/ankle injury now, that's 5 receivers. Your 5 receivers going into everything. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson, Britton Covey, Johnny Wilson, and that's 5. Okay, Anaya Smith would have been your 6th. So I think you could bring Paris Campbell as your 6th, and then you put John Ross on practice squad, or they flat out, I don't know what John Ross or Paris Campbell will be on practice squad for now, maybe. I think they got rid of Shaq Davis as well at receiver. I think they got rid of him. Joseph Nagata will be Joseph Nagata. Really, the only issue with him is that he just gets no fucking separation. his contested catching, like he had that one good game. The second game was the Patriots. I thought he played really well. I thought he did fantastic. He had like 80-something yards. He probably would have had over 100 yards that game because he dropped a couple passes. But he still has an issue with drops, and his contested catching is lackluster at times. Like, that's going to be his strong suit, but he still lacks, I heard that, he gets, AJ Brown really calms him down, because I know that apparently, like, Joseph Nagata gets very emotional with his feelings sometimes, and AJ Brown is there to really keeps his emotions in check. Like, I like Joseph Nagata, but man, he just needs, his separation is just not good enough for me right now. Just not good. And I'm not like any, I'm not no nerd when it comes to X's and O's and watching film, but like that's what I'm seeing. Like I never see any separation from Joseph Nagata, like ever. Matt says, yeah, Drobe straight up dog shit. Try Tigger. He says, Bradbury can't make it. He sucks. He plays no special teams. Job is more for, yeah, I think he is more special teams, but it might not be enough. It's the Philly tomorrow. Cut Blankenship, the ghost of. What is with the Blankenship cutting Blankenship? What you're literally taking a positive and you're fucking you're replacing it with a negative. Turtles to single team made tackles, but he was like the little kid trying to walk a Great Dane when it came to tackling. He would make the tackle 4 yards after contact. Tries to, I want Bradbury gone more than anyone. He plays no special, and he sucks at tackling. That is true. He can't cover tight ends. As a safety, wide receiver 3, can't cover that. Tight ends, he definitely can't cover. Open field tackling, forget it. I mean, that's out of the fucking question. EJ was better. Well, EJ is a different position. I mean, EJ is a tight end. So I'm just strictly talking like positions. Like EJ, Nagata played better than EJ. In one game, really, to be honest with you. EJ was splurting, here and there. But EJ has looked more consistent as the tight ends that we have right now that could stay available and healthy. EJ might be the number 3 tight end right now. So that's where we're at right now with camp. That's where we're at with the cuts right now. We've kind of been through the whole entire thing as of right now. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Yeah, I think Blank's solid. Like, I don't think he's Ed Reed, but, he's solid. You know what I mean? So other than that, guys, we've been streaming for over 2 hours. 312 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream. Appreciate everybody joining the stream tonight. This video is sponsored by SeatGeek. Get $20 off your first order at SeatGeek with promo code Joey Shakes. Click the link in the description below. Download the SeatGeek app. And if you're getting tickets for a festival, a concert, a sport, any type of sports you're going for, whether it's basketball, baseball, whatever the case may be this year, hit the link and get $20 off your first order. Doesn't matter how many tickets you buy, it will be $20 off. So if there's anything more, any more questions, I need to work on some stuff tonight for tomorrow, and we will probably stream tomorrow after the Final 53 has been made, and we'll have a video tomorrow as well regarding the Final 53 into the next day, and we will have practice squad on Wednesday. So the practice squad will be figured out on Wednesday. It might be even figured out by tomorrow night, really. So I don't think it's going to take a whole entire day to figure that out. So we'll see. But make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream before you leave. It does help out tremendously. 171 likes. Let's try to get to 200 likes if we can. Hit that like button. Appreciate all the super chats, everything, all the support tonight. And yeah, we'll be live tomorrow to talk about everything, to see if you agree or disagree. Let's see if the Eagles make any trades. Let's see if they make any cuts. Let's see if they trade some of our own players. Let's see what happens. It's gonna be exciting. I'm pretty excited about it. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Remember, shake squat up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace, and I will see you later. Love you all. Peace out.